Happy New Year! It's the first day of 26, the first day of 26. 2026. I feel really freaking good. I hope that you guys feel great. I hope that you guys are having a great new year so far. If you're watching this on January 1st, 2026, this is the day that I recorded this video. So I'm going to get my cards, which for some reason are over here. So I'm going to take you with me. How have you been? How's your year going? How's your day going? That's good. I hope it's good. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna pull from this deck something. I lost my other tarot deck, which is so weird. I actually lost it a few weeks ago and I found it it was like right in front of my face, and now I lost it again. So that might be significant for you, losing things. I'm using my old deck. I think this is the first deck I got because it's like the learner deck and it's really cheap. Maybe there's something about going back to basics in this reading. Something about like going back to reliable, back to the basics, and back to your notes, like back to your it's almost like you're relearning something that you've already learned that might be significant to you, or you might resonate with that message for this reading. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pull some cards. Hope you guys are doing well. Happy New Year. Take whatever resonates from this reading, and I gotta start saying this with all my readings. And please leave what does not. My first desire for you all is to trust your intuition. That's the whole point, right? For me, at least, for spirituality, trusting yourself, trusting your intuition. So make sure you trust yourself, take what resonates and leave what does not. But if you are here, there's likely something in here for you. Okay. Ooh, the Four of Pentacles just came out in reverse, but I'm going to put it back because I didn't really call it out, but yeah, that makes sense to what we were just saying. Maybe like you were holding on to something, or the way you thought things should be. The Ten of Pentacles in reverse and the Ace of Swords in reverse. So it feels like maybe there might have something to do with a family business or a family dynamic that you're not speaking up about, or something about like your current environment. So this Ten of Pentacles in reverse is kind of giving me the energy of you work it right now. It's just giving me the energy that you're working in a family dynamic. You might be working with your family in like a family business. You might make money with your family, but there's something to do with like the life that you've built concerning family isn't really working or flowing as well as it could right now. There might be a lot of animosity or competition, a lot of riffraff I'm hearing, and maybe someone trying to be in charge of others in a way that doesn't really benefit others. They just feel like they need to be in charge. With this Ace of Swords in reverse, that's what I'm getting to. Someone might be, I don't want to say spreading lies, but it's more so like misusing the truth. You know what I mean? Kind of using truths against people, or saying something in order to prove a point, not for the sake of truth, but in order to prove a point to make themselves look better. This is interesting because all this is coming through, and I must be channeling because this is also a 10 and a 1 card. So there's something about 1-0, so something about resetting or creating something new. So yeah, this feels like a building a business, and it might not be a blood family situation. It could be, excuse me, it could be chosen family, or some sort of like group dynamic. Ten of Pentacles in reverse, another 1-0. This is making you very unhappy, or maybe just making everyone unhappy. It's causing, because it's Ten of Cups is usually about another family dynamic or group dynamic. This is like fulfillment, like full fulfillment. So this coming out in reverse is like whatever you had being built is really kind of, you're starting to notice that it's not really giving what it should have gave. mm, it wasn't really giving what it should have gave. Also, with this Ace of Swords in reverse, I was also feeling like this could have something to do with you not really feeling like you can speak up in this dynamic. Maybe you feel overpowered, or because it does feel like there's a lot of hands in the pot, with this Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. Um, there's a if there's a lack of abundance, there's a lot of lack of abundance. If there's animosity, there's a lot of animosity. It's not just coming from one person. If there's lack of happiness, everyone's feeling that. So maybe you kind of feel like you can't really speak up about the way you feel for the sake of the way others feel. But yeah, that's causing a lot of unhappiness within you. And also, I mean, everybody mad. I've been getting to the money. Everybody mad. Yeah. So Knight of Pentacles and the Moon. So there's something coming forward, and we're gonna get more clarity on this in the next poll. But there's something coming forward, and you don't really know where it's gonna be coming from. But it does feel like this is something coming in from the outside with this Knight of Pentacles. It feels like someone's like spirit is sending a solution for this issue, and it feels like this might be towards you specifically as well. Like this might be this might have I can't see how I can't speak. You're not supposed to speak about this. This might be something that you're not supposed to speak about. That's what I was trying to say as I couldn't speak. Um yeah, and you might even notice yourself, if you try to talk about it, you'll start to like slip up your words, like why can't I get it out? You're not supposed to get it out. This, whatever's coming in, I think this is an important message for you to hear right now, because Spirit's trying to let you know that you're not really supposed to speak a lot about this. And I don't think I need to explain why. I think you understand why. I think the situation that you're in right now currently is showing you how chaotic it can be when too many people are creating something together. It just can be confusing. The mission gets lost in the sauce. It gets lost with everybody else's projections on what they want it to be. And so I think something's coming in for you. There's a group dynamic that you are a part of, and you might be being called right now to separate from that group dynamic. And I think right now Spirit is trying to, the reason you're getting this message right now is for you to kind of be warned that, or not warned, that's the only word that's coming to mind, but like that you have something coming and that you're not supposed to speak about it. Okay, let me pull more cards. Oh, Ace of Pentacles. Wow, yes. You literally have something coming. You have a gift. This is a confirmation that this will be a gift. This is not something that you're going to have to like owe back. This is an offering from God, from Spirit. This is a God-driven, Spirit-driven, divinely driven opportunity for you. And this is a very clear message that this is for you, and that this is not supposed to be talked about. You see how there's like it's coming from this cloud? This is Spirit. This is the unknown, right? This is the unseen. It's coming to you, into the scene for you, right? But like there's an element of mystery that needs to be maintained for you to maintain your connection to it. It's almost like when this manifests into reality, it's going to cause disruption automatically, and before it's fully planted as a seed, you cannot really disturb the process of it being able to bloom. And this is why you're not supposed to share it. You're not supposed to have people picking at it and looking at it and moving it to a different place. You are being picked for this because you know what to do with it. Spirit is saying that there's something about you that you're gonna know what to do. I'm gonna draw more cards. That's why it's being given to you as a new idea, a new beginning. High Priestess in reverse, Justice, and the Five of Pentacles. So, what does this mean? So there's something about like you haven't really been, maybe because of all the confusion, you haven't been really attuned to your divine essence. And that divine essence is why you're so important. But this is your justice. Whatever's coming in, you're in an era where you are able to receive justice because of the karma that you have addressed. And you may have been in this family dynamic to be able to address these things. A lot of times we are put in position to address our karma, to address the issues that our soul came here to address, or to learn what our soul came here to learn. And you have learned it. And you are in an energy now of receiving the balance that you deserve from this uh, maybe poverty mindset or impoverished situation that you are or were in. There may have also what I'm getting from this high priestess in reverse. There may have been someone who may have been like manipulating you in some way, and that's also why you're getting this justice. Like someone who was kind of like psychologically manipulating you to believe that you're not good enough or that you don't have the answers and that they have the answers. And this might have thrown your intuition off. This high priestess in reverse is kind of giving like a double meaning to me right now. uh, there's someone that made you feel this way, but then also because they made you feel this way, you kind of started to represent that energy, the energy of not knowing, and through representing that energy, you may have fallen into poverty because you stopped walking in your power. But Spirit is saying you've learned your lesson because this justice is coming in, right? So if justice is coming in, it means that you're ready for it. But there's a lot of that you've had to work through. As far in this five of, there's a lot of changes that have happened, right? And I think also with this Five of Pentacles, I'm seeing that you might have to, because three cards came out at the same time, so I'm going to read it as a three-card spread. You may have to start to embrace change, embrace the fact that things aren't going to be the way they used to be with this new idea, with this new thing. You might start to feel outcasted at this time because of the situation that you're in, but you're being called to put down burdens. You're being called to not have to handle everybody's stuff. This is the 10 of Wands. So that's literally the third 10 that's out, right? Yeah. There's a lot of overwhelm, and all of the 10s are in reverse, which is interesting because the first two tens were not is not a good thing necessarily, but this is in reverse as well. This you're being called to put down everybody else's burdens, and there's a resonance with all these tens. It's like you were creating backwards because you were taking on too much. It's almost like the dynamic that the group dynamic that you were in was supposed to ease the tension, and what it did was cause more tension because everybody wasn't on the same page. And now it caused you to feel like you have to carry this burden, kind of what I was saying earlier with you feeling like you have to hold back your truth for the sake of everybody else because everybody else is unhappy, so you feel like you have to. You might be, oh man, you're the one in the family who feels like you have to help everybody else, even if it's just emotionally. You have to be there for everybody else. So you'll take burdens off of other people in order for them to feel better. You'll do things that people don't even notice, or you'll just start doing things because you notice other people are stressed out, and but you don't recognize that that's stressing you out, right? You're also stressed in the first place. Before you even picked up other people's sticks, you were already stressed, right? So that's why this is the 10. This was the last straw, pretty much. Like you, something may have happened recently where you realize this. You realize that you were being drained. Whew. I'm sending a lot of loving energy your way. Sending a lot of love your way. What's coming in, Spirit, for this collective? The 10 of... I can't make this up. The last 10. Okay? In reverse again. The 10 of Swords in reverse. You are being called to not worry. You are being called to genuinely let go. Okay? Whatever that means for you. Let it go. 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 With this moon card out, it's like there's definitely a lot of unknowns right now. So I'm sending you a lot of love and strength because I know that can be difficult with, especially when it comes to group dynamics. Moving on from the group to become your own person can feel like a lot, but you're actually, it feels like, okay, I'm going to slow down. It feels like you're expanding. So either way, it's overwhelming, even if it's positive, right? So I want to send you love because I know that either way, it can feel overwhelming, even just to let go. You know, falling out of the sky with a parachute isn't everybody's idea of fun. Okay, so I get that. Letting go isn't always as fun as it sounds, right? Like, but there is something coming for you, and this is why you have to let go. This Ace of Pentacles, like I said, is for you. It's not for anybody else. So you have to get from around everybody else. And take this as it resonates. And I'm so glad I said that in the beginning of the reading, right? Because this isn't for everybody. It's for a specific group of people, and you know who you are, and you know when this resonates. You have to let go at a certain point so that you can receive this. You're not going to, because God knows, Spirit knows, the people around you are going to take this from you. They're going to manipulate you to think that it's theirs. Oh, you owe me, or, let me help you with it. Let me hold it for you real quick. Kind of like when your mom or dad used to be like, let me hold her. Let me help you invest it. And then it's nowhere to be found after. Those types of people that you have around you, God, Spirit is already, they're already knowing that you can't be in that position while receiving this gift. So there's something trying to come into you because we have the Knight of Pentacles out. That Knight of Pentacles came out with the Moon card with the Ace of Pentacles. There's definitely something coming towards you in secret for you. So you have to, at the very least, learn how to not share so much with others right now, okay? Eight of Pentacles in reverse. There's something about maintaining focus. Maybe you've felt unfocused lately, but there's something that you need to be focused on. So you might already have this thing. Whatever you're needing to work on right now, or whatever idea you've already had, you might have an idea. Okay, that makes sense. You already have an idea. And you may have spoken a little bit about it, but maybe it's not a fully developed idea and you haven't really had time to think about it or work on it. You're being called to now work on it in silence. Okay? But you are being called to work on it. You're being called to go back to that thing, and take that as it resonates. You guys know what you guys are working on. You know what you were working on before this dynamic, or maybe even during this dynamic. Maybe an original goal that you had that got lost in everybody else's vision, and they may have forgotten about it, but you didn't forget, and that might be why you feel so stressed as well. This Seven of Swords in reverse. You don't have to figure this out. Like, you're being so divinely guided. You do not have to figure it out. You just have to focus on it, but you don't have to overwhelm. Okay, so that might be, maybe you were being, I think you might have been projected on to feel like you have to figure a lot out. And deep down, you're being divinely guided. You don't actually have to figure out the nooks and crannies of the details. And I think maybe in this group dynamic, that's kind of what the issue might have been. Like, they were trying to figure out certain details that they didn't agree on, and then the vision got lost. Spirit is letting you know that you don't have to worry about that. The details won't matter to you because you're being divinely guided. You're going to understand. King of Pentacles, you are being put in position to be able to help others. And not even, I don't know why I was called to say that, because that's not something I would want to say right now. So I think that's true. Um, I think that you should keep this to yourself. I don't think that you should have that. Well, let me not say what I think. This is what Spirit is saying. Spirit is saying that you are being put in position. Okay. But you have to maintain this energy of the king, right? The king doesn't show all his hands to everybody. That's how he's the king. That's why he's the king. King, you don't know about the king. You don't know what he got going on day to day. You don't know what meetings he has and what, you know, but he's the king. He knows what he's doing. And that's your energy, right? That is your authentic energy. You are someone who knows what they're talking about. You know what you're doing. And you really are about to be put in position to show yourself that you know yourself. Not the rhymes. This is a great reading to start the year with. I gotta say, it's almost like we're cleaning up this, and you might not agree, or you might not resonate with this being the new year in the first place, but this does feel like the last little things that have to happen, like the cleanup before the new year. So you might resonate with the new year being in March, or in the spring season with the spring equinox, because this is preparing you for the spring. If you're watching this in January, this is preparing you for the spring where everything is going to sprout and grow. You're now being called to plant those seeds. Spirit, last messages. The world. You guys, there's so much ahead of you. There's so much opportunity here. There's so much, and this is another, I'm seeing a lot of 3s and 0s, so there's celebration here when it comes to whatever you're creating. Whatever you're creating, there's going to be it's going to close a major cycle. Like I said, this does feel like something you started a long time ago and it never got finished because maybe you involved too many people too soon. Okay? So you're closing out that cycle. You're closing out that cycle. Finally, once and for all. And see how there's one person in the middle of this cycle, and this isn't about being selfish, right? This is just understanding the energy, right? Like, if there's too many hands in the pot, there's so much energy to deal with in the beginning. You're building a tree. You're growing a tree. You build the branch. You build the trunk first, right? That first strong, and it might start off as like a little stick, but it's still a very strong stick. It's a strong, solid foundation for a tree to grow, and then you start to see branches come off of it, and leaves start to come off of the branches. But you can't start with the branches. It just doesn't make any sense. And so with this King of Pentacles, right, you're growing to the point where you'll be able to spread out into branches and leaves. But you have to be able to understand that you need to be the one cultivating your own ideas. You need to be the one cultivating and growing your own ideas, at least in the beginning. And that doesn't mean you don't take help. That means that you decide the help that you take. You decide how much help, when the help comes in, for how long that help comes in, and how much of it you need, and what you're going to take and what you're going to leave. That's very relevant for this message. Taking what is yours and leaving what isn't. You're the king of Pentacles. You have to decide that. You can't also depend on other people to decide that. With this High Priestess in reverse, like I said, you're tapping back into your intuition. You're having to learn how to tap back into your intuition to discern how and when you receive help and when you actually don't need help anymore and it's just time for you to go and get it done. Any last messages for the collective? One more card. We have the Star in reverse. So you are having to build yourself up right now. You're having to build yourself back up into understanding that your ideas matter. This venture that you're going on, whatever this is, matters. You are the star. You've been known that. Okay, this is your reminder. You are the star, and this is about not having to pour into everybody else first. It's kind of like this being in reverse is your advice because the star card is someone who is pouring out water. They're pouring out their creative ideas. They're pouring out their energy. They're giving it away. You're kind of being called to bring that back to yourself. You're being called to remember who you are, feed back into the star energy, right? Instead of it's still the star. It's almost like this is not a bad thing. This is not the typical like star in reverse. This is a reminder of how to get back into the star energy, that you need to pour into self first so that you can be the one who gives uh, the overflow to your community, right? So, oh crap. I don't know if I can show that on YouTube. Sorry. Should I take that part out? Yeah, so this is your energy, right? You are the star. You're just having to learn how to not pour all of it out so easily, right? This is great. I love this reading for you. I don't even think I need to pull an oracle card. I think that's literally it. I think that I hope that helped. I think that you're on an amazing path. If this does resonate with you, you have amazing things on the way. It's just going to take you to be very headstrong in you and what you know is true, right? There's going to be a lot of people who tell you that you need to do this and you do that. You go over here, come with me. You're the king of your castle, okay? So remember that. Do not be overwhelmed. You are being divinely guided. Do not be, I know that I don't want to tell you not to be overwhelmed, but just know that you are divinely guided. Always. Period. That's a fact. Okay, focus on the facts. The facts are you're the star, you are a star, you're the king of pentacles, you are divinely guided, you have great ideas, you have amazing work ethic. All you need to do is learn how to focus that work on yourself rather than on everybody else, carrying everybody else's weight. Okay? I love you. My name is Kai. If you want to book a personal with me, the description box below will have the link. And if you want to join my community, the link is there as well. Thank you so much for joining, and I pray that you have an amazing rest of your new year. Happy New Year if you choose to acknowledge, and I'll see you next time. Bye.